Oh no, this lily got gilded awful hard today, but you know, I'm worth it. I'm such a glamour. Hey dolls, it's me, Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of RuPaul's Drag Race España Season 2, Episode 7, and I think we should just get into it. So, Jorge, drink me! Oh, thank you, Jorge. Oh, I love my pucker. Shut your face. Oh, okay. This episode kicked off where they all do, with the remaining queens bidding farewell to the latest sashayer, and this week, it was Diamante. The queens seemed genuinely sad to see her go, which is more than she gave any of them. Although I will say, Jiriji was the only one who admitted she was just being nice. On the other hand, Estrella thought the antenna hat Diamante left was cursed because she gave the sieve to her in the first place. Her thought being that if she kept it, she might be the one who had gone home. I can see her point. There's logic there. Right? Of course, they had to congratulate Drag Settlers on her first win, and with that, they all got out of drag, but not before Estrella popped Diamante's cursed antenna on Settlers' head. Look out for the curse of Diamante is all I'm saying. Seriously. The next day, Supreme showed up in a fabulous floral suit and shirt to match, although I don't agree with Sharon. I don't think it looked like a couch from the 80s. Not all florals look like they belong on a sofa. Did you just call me a lazy boy? What crust? Supreme had a mysterious mini-challenge for the queens. They had to put on these blue boiler suits and then throw on a face before she would tell them any more, which was fine with me because then we could just enjoy the view. And by view, I mean Nazette Navarro. Hi! 15 minutes later, after the queens had prettied up and written a sentence that described them as the fiercest and most fabulous fighters, Supreme revealed that their boiler suits inflated to become those culturally questionable sumo wrestling suits. Although, are they still sumo suits when they don't wear the wig? Maybe we can call them personal bouncy castles. I say that because Personalized Bouncy Castle, or PBC, was my drag queen name in high school. Marina seemed pleased to be in the airtight suit because it allowed her to pass gas all she wanted. In fact, I think that's how she inflated hers. Don't anybody light a match. Needless to say, these queens wore their own wigs because, well, they don't need no bald hairlines up and through on international TV. I'm so serious. So, basically, the mini-challenge had the queens wrestling one-on-one until there was only one queen standing. And right away, I knew that little Settlers would be launched into space along with Twiggy Marina, and that Estrella would be the one doing the bouncing. Well, she's a big girl, I'm not gonna lie. She knows she's big. Well, I was wrong. At least where Settlers was concerned, she was up against Venedita and surprised everyone by aggressively throwing Venedita out of the ring in record time. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case when she was up against Estrella, who threw Settlers around like a rag doll, like a rag doll, a raggy drag doll, which was nobody's name in high school, I'm just going to say. Either way, Estrella made short work of all the queens and was the winner of the mini-challenge. What did that get her? A month of free transportation with the Spanish app Free Now. Although, I think Estrella thought Nowzette was part of the prize. So would I. Well, he wasn't. But what was part of Estrella's mini-challenge prize was picking the teams for the Maxi Challenge. This week, the queens would be creating tourism ads to lure queens from around the world to visit Spain. Because Estrella's not stupid, she chose Sharon again. And why wouldn't she? They worked extremely well together in 2 challenges so far. As for the rest of the queens, Estrella put Venedita with Jiriji, much to their delight, which left Marina with Settlers, who were so thrilled that they didn't even bother standing next to each other. I'm guessing Marina's flatulence had something to do with it. Apparently that struggle is real. Or more real than I thought. Right away, the queens got down to writing. Well, not all the queens. Settlers was not pleased to be teamed with Marina, flatulence or no. And then it was time to film their ads with Supreme. Estrella and Sharon went first. And can I just say, I loved their makeup. It was so subtle, and yet They looked like sisters. Their whole sales pitch was that everything was big in Spain. Well, at least the penises, the poppers, and the fun. But, to be honest, I think it was just an excuse for Estrella's head to be squished between two delicious buns. Hell, now that I look at it, I want to go there too. As for Sharon, well, she was just happy that her pit crew partner, Felipe, helped her nail it. The scene, I mean. Lucky. Benedita and Girigi were next. They were playing old ladies who won't accept their age, although looking at them, I wonder how old they think old is. And it better be older than 56 is all I'm saying, seriously. Last but not least was Marina and Settlers. I was confused by this concept, especially since Settlers' character seemed to have issues with what was going on. Hell, I had issues, mostly trying to understand the madness. Seriously. The next day in the workroom, Settlers was still a little bitter that she didn't get to work with Sharon, but she seemed to be the only one. As the queens got ready for the runway, Marina and Estrella had a good chinwag. I loved hearing that Marina missed her parents. I feel we don't hear these stories of love near as much as we hear about the negative ones. So here's to Marina and her parents. Well done, seriously. Then it was time to hit the main stage, where Supreme looked fabulous, but let's face it, most of that fabulosity was down to those gorgeous gloves, am I right? Her wig, on the other hand, reminded me of Gossamer, the monster from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. Just me? Joining the judges this week was singer Ruth Lorenzo, and this week's runway theme was Night of 1,000 Rafael Caras, Spain's most popular TV blonde. Now, I want to admit I have no idea who this woman is, so I'm going to judge the runway based on each look alone, regardless of whether or not the queens captured Rafael. Up first was Estrella Extravaganza in a red jumpsuit with a masked crotch. In my opinion, anyone who works at maintaining a little mystery in their no-no places deserves a Fingerdoo for me. So I gave it to her. A freshly bleached Venedita Von Dash was next in another red jumpsuit. I'm sensing a theme here. I love this look, and Venedita sold the hell out of it, so I gave her a Fingerdoo as well. Seriously. I couldn't have cared less who Girigi was trying to emulate. I just thought this look was an absolute winner and gave her a Fingerdoo the minute she stepped out on the catwalk. Although, why she pulled the telephone receiver out of her cooch is beyond me. It's where I keep bus fare. I was a little let down by Sharon's runway. Even before I saw the picture of Rafaela in the look that inspired it, I thought her runway was a little plain. The fabric looked like something Jujubee would wear, not Spain's leading TV personality, so I gave Sharon a Fingerdoo. Other than that, I thought she looked great. Her makeup was stunning, and she even put a little gap in her teeth. But seriously, she couldn't get her hands on some lame. Although I thought Sethla's runway looked cheap too, it was way closer to the original inspiration. But with that hair and makeup, I thought she looked more like Gottmik than Rafaela. And then Sethla's ruined it by removing her skirt. I wouldn't have minded, except that you could see through her tights where the bottom of her corset showed through. So I had to give her Fingerdoo. Seriously, look at that. I thought Marina's runway was a little too simple, but then the look that inspired it was simple too, so I gave her a Fingerdoo, just gonna say. After the runway, it was time to watch the queens come to Spain, bitch campaigns. Up first, Sharon and Estrella. I love this campaign. Who would have thought you could build a catchphrase with, and the glory holes? Not that people haven't tried, just saying. Sethless and Marina were next, and I could see why Sethless was so upset to be stuck with Marina. They did not work well together, and worse than that, their commercial just wasn't funny. Tell me I'm wrong. Lastly, we had Venedita and Girigi. I have to admit it, I had no idea what was going on during their commercial, and I couldn't have cared less. I thought Girigi and Venedita were a hoot, even though they were on the verge of being upstaged by their own boobs. Watch, those breastplates will have their own agents before too long. Seriously. And then Supreme asked the dreaded question. Which queen should go home next? Well, Sharon picked Marina, Estrella picked Settless, Marina picked Girigi, so did Settless, Benedita picked Marina, and so did Jiriji. That's 3 votes for Marina, 2 votes for Jiriji, and 1 for Sethless. Needless to say, the Untucked Lounge was a hoot, eh? I love that Sharon said they shouldn't fall apart over one question because they all had to pick a name. It's the name of the game. Pick a name, just saying. Estrella was feeling guilty because she felt Sethless and Marina struggled because she teamed them up. When asked by Supreme, Estrella only picked Sethless because her ad was the least funny. If Estrella had picked a name based on the competition as a whole, she said she would have picked Jiriji. Well, Jiriji dealt with that tidbit well. She took a call from her crotch saying that she may be the least versatile, but at least she was funny. No one was impressed, least of all Sethless, who started to have it out with Jiriji. Thank goodness Marina stepped in. She pointed out that she was named the most to go home, and she wasn't taking it personally. Jiriji didn't care. She kept chewing on the fact that Sethless was only asked who should go home next, not what she thought of everyone's drag. Hell, she had a point. Back on the main stage, Supreme announced that they were judging the queens in pairs. Ugh. And this week's winner, clearly, was Sharon and Estrella. Jiriji and Benedita were a close runner-up, which left Sethless and Marina in the bottom. It was the curse of the antenna hat, which was the name of my fringe play. This was an interesting lip sync. Both these queens were solid performers, but in different ways. Marina is a dancer and hit the stage with a high-energy performance right off the hop. Sethless, on the other hand, stood fairly still and focused on the lip sync, and then, well, she removed her big sleeves in a shower of gold glitter and then started to dance it out. But I felt it was too little too late, so I, for one, was not surprised that it was Marina who shantaed, and it was a very tearful Sethless who sashayed away, and she wasn't alone. Estrella was obviously heartbroken too. So, what do you think? Would the outcome have been different if Sethless was teamed up with another queen, or was it just her time? How about the 5 remaining queens? Who's circling the drain now? Is Marina a silent killer? Will Jiriji be able to prove her versatility, or will one of the frontrunners trip themselves up? All we can do is tune into Drag Race España next week to see how it all plays out, and when you're done, you come on back and you see me, so you and I can compare notes. In the meantime, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and please feel free to share this video with anyone you think is as big a Drag Race fan as we are. Also, don't forget to check out the links in my description box for ways you can help support me and my channel. Until next time, miss me! Seriously, Mark. I feel so bad for Sethless. I keep looking at her and think she's 18. You know what I mean? Like she's a child. She's 31. She's 31. She should be able to deal with disappointment. But Marina's an odd duck, eh? She's very much on her own. She's fine with whatever, regardless of her opinion of it. And I have to say, I really admire that. She can have a negative opinion about whatever is going on, but she's fine. Like, well, it's my opinion. You have yours, and we still have to get from A to B. So, I don't know. You know what? It all depends on what next week's challenge is. Hopefully it's a good one, and then we'll have our top 4. But I'm going to predict that it might be between Marina and Jiriji, because I think Sharon, Estrella, Benedita, they're the top 3 for sure. I just can't pick between Jiriji and Marina, but I feel like they're in that. They don't seem to impress the judges as much as the other 3 do, so I don't know. We're just going to have to see. It better not be Sharon, is all I'm saying. I'll flip a table.